before you scroll, before you go back to your routine, I need to ask you one question. If today was the last day you had with someone you love, would you be proud of how you spent it? Asterisk, asterisk. Most people won't think about this. Most people will ignore it. Most people will say, I'll call them later. I'll fix things someday. I'll make time when life slows down. But life never slows down. And sometimes, life doesn't wait. So, if you're listening, stay. Because this story, it isn't just a story. It's a warning, a mirror, a reminder that love is now, not later. My name is Emily Carter. And for 8 years, I was married to a man named Michael Harris. Michael wasn't perfect, but he was good. The kind of man who laughed loudly, loved deeply, and always held my hand when we crossed the street, even if there were no cars. But Michael had one flaw. He worked too much. Late nights, early mornings, working on vacations, missing holidays, missing dinners. I used to ask him, why do you push yourself so hard? And he always answered the same way. Because one day, I want to give you the life you deserve. So, I waited. I supported him. I believed him. Because love does that. It waits. It forgives. It hopes. It was a Thursday, a normal, forgettable day, until midnight turned it into a nightmare. Michael came home exhausted. He barely touched his dinner. He said, just stress, I'll be fine. But around 2:14 a.m., I woke up to a sound I cannot forget. Michael gasping for air. His hands shaking. His chest tight. His eyes terrified. I called 911 with shaking fingers. By the time paramedics arrived, he was fading. I sat next to him in the ambulance, holding his hand, begging him, stay with me, please stay. But life doesn't negotiate. At 3:47 a.m., a doctor walked toward me with the slowest steps I've ever seen. And with quiet, heartbreaking finality, he said, we did everything we could. My world collapsed. The funeral didn't feel real. People wore black. People whispered. People cried. But everything felt distant, like I was watching my own life fall apart from outside my body. I stood next to Michael's casket, holding his wedding ring in my palm. It was warm from my body heat, but cold inside my heart. And then, my phone buzzed. Once. Twice. 3 times. I finally looked. It was his boss. Calling. During the funeral. I hesitated, then answered. And his boss said, Emily, sorry to bother you, but do you know the password to Michael's work laptop? We need access. The team has deadlines.
No condolences. No humanity.
Just business. Just urgency. Just deadlines. And that moment, something inside me shattered. Not from grief, but from realization. I stared at Michael's coffin and replayed his life in my head. All those late nights. All those missed family dinners. All those sacrificed weekends. All those moments, he said, I'll spend more time later. But later never came. He gave his company everything. Time, energy, health, sleep.
And in return?
They wanted a password. Not memories. Not gratitude. Not respect. Just access. And suddenly, the truth hit me like a storm. To work, he was replaceable. To me, he was everything. Asterisk, asterisk. For weeks, I cried more than I slept. But grief eventually turned into something else. Clarity. I changed things. I stopped apologizing for choosing rest, for choosing family, for choosing life. I stopped measuring my worth in productivity. I stopped saying, someday. Instead, I started saying, today. Because tomorrow isn't promised. If you're watching this, maybe it's because you needed this reminder. Broken heart, call your parents. Broken heart, hug your children. Broken heart, forgive someone if you still can. Broken heart, say, I love you out loud. Broken heart, take that trip. Broken heart, rest without guilt. Your job will replace you within days. But the people you love, they'll carry you in their hearts for a lifetime. I still wear Michael's ring around my neck. Not to remember how he died, but to remember how we should live. So before you scroll past this video, before life distracts you again,
Pause.
think of one person you care about and tell them, because love isn't tomorrow. Love is now.